You're a woman, you've just told your husband something that he did that really upset you, and his response leaves you questioning, is he a jerk or am I overreacting? This video is going to answer those questions for you. These are the exact phrases that make women feel invalidated and confused, and they are dismissive. And number 5, this response makes women feel like there's no hope. I am Lindsay. This is Loving with Intention. Let's dive in because you deserve to feel heard, loved, and to trust that your feelings matter. And we get to get you there once you recognize that these are dismissive responses. This video is so freaking important because when you are questioning if his dismissive responses are rooted in truth or if they're actually dismissive, you can end up losing your voice in your relationship and feel totally powerless. Why share your hurt feelings if it doesn't go well? If you are hearing any of the following 5 responses or reactions from your husband, know that they are dismissive. You are not crazy. So number 1, you approach your husband. Maybe you're bringing up a challenging moment or sharing something that happened where he hurt your feelings. And he responds with, why do we have to talk about this? This does not feel good. It is absolutely a dismissive response. Not only is he not acknowledging your feelings, he's not showing curiosity, he's not validating your experience, he's also taking the conversation in a whole new direction. I'm going to link the video below that I made on using the word why in our relationships. It is a word that my partner and I no longer use, and if one of us accidentally does use it, we acknowledge it and change our language because we know how unhelpful it is. When your husband says, why do we have to talk about this? He doesn't actually want to know why. I mean, like maybe there's a small percentage, but most of the time he doesn't want to know why. Because if you responded like, oh, because I feel really hurt and I would love to hear an apology, I want to talk this through, it is highly unlikely that he's going to be like, oh, that makes so much sense. Let's hear it. Let's have the conversation. Instead, his why is implying bringing up your feelings is wrong, or your feelings don't matter, or this isn't a big deal. So ladies, if you do hear this from your husband, this is actually really common and it is invalidating. Near the end of the video, I'm going to share what might be going on for your husband in these moments, but let's get into the second way that he dismisses your feelings. This one is a classic, which sounds absolutely terrible, and it's true. He says, you're too sensitive or you're overreacting. At first glance or first listen, this is clearly invalidating. And when you hear it enough, it makes sense that you might start to question, am I too sensitive? Do I get hurt by too many things? Do I make a big deal out of things that are actually small or I should just let go? So many things that we can question. The truth is, even if you are sensitive, and notice I said sensitive and not too sensitive, or if you are bringing up hurt feelings and wanting to talk them through, him responding in this way is dismissive. Maybe he's overwhelmed, maybe he doesn't have the capacity. There's definitely a healthier way to have this conversation with you that doesn't involve calling you too sensitive or telling you that you're overreacting. So next time you hear these phrases, know this is invalidating. Your feelings and your experience matters. And it also, again, spirals the conversation in a whole new direction, one where you are defending yourself, trying to prove that you're not too sensitive, which now you're more and more upset, aka in his eyes, looking sensitive. And before you know it, you are just in this argument and the original hurt feelings are completely lost, not being talked about, and don't get brought up again. And it sucks so much. So this next one can feel confusing because there's actually a little bit of truth to it, and it is still dismissive. So you share your feelings about what upset you, and he says, that's a you problem, you can figure it out, don't involve me. The truth in this is, when you get triggered by your partner, it is an invitation to get curious and do your own healing work. And in a healthy relationship, we actually get to heal ourselves and be part of healing each other. This is a conversation, an experience. It is actually one of my favorite things to do when I am working with couples, to be able to facilitate the healing work when either partner has a trigger, because we all got them, and they feel hurt by something from the other partner. We explore the layers of what's underneath the surface. This is an opportunity for the other partner to show love in a way, oh my gosh, that brings so much compassion and understanding to that wounded part. It is so beautiful and so healing. When he says, that's a you problem, you can figure it out, don't involve me, that hurts. It is not relational healing. It makes sense that you wouldn't want to share your feelings if this is what you hear when you do. And it makes sense that you would feel more and more disconnected in your relationship. The fourth response that he might give you that is dismissive is, you always want to argue. And you are like, what the heck? I literally just brought up my feelings, and the actual last thing that I want to do is argue. It was hard enough to muster up the courage to bring up those feelings because you don't want a fight. Again, this kind of comment often results in you defending yourself, trying to explain how you definitely don't want to argue, but now you two are in an argument about not wanting to argue. And that might sound ridiculous when I say it out loud, and it's actually super common. We want to bring in so much love around this because when you get into arguments that seem like they're about something silly on the surface, it's never silly because it's not about whatever is on the surface, whatever you're arguing about. It's about the deeper feelings, the needs, the wounds, the hurts, the fears, so many things. So with this one, just know if he accuses you of wanting to argue, this is critical, dismissive, hurtful. Again, at the end of this video, I'm going to talk about why your husband might respond in this way. But first, let's talk about number 5. This is the one that can feel extra hopeless. It's when you share your feelings and crickets. He doesn't say anything. Silence. Nothing. Or he waits and then completely changes the subject like you didn't say anything at all. This, like all the others, not only hurts, but feels completely infuriating. You were vulnerable, you were brave, you shared your heart, and he's not even responding. This is dismissive, and you're not crazy. This is not an exhaustive list, but these are the things that I hear most from the women that I work with. And I always like to add a little side note because I know that there are a lot of wonderful men in the Loving with Intention community. If you're a man and you hear these things from your wife, yes, they are dismissive. And whether you are a man or a woman, you might actually hear me list off these 5 dismissive comments and recognize yourself in them. We want to bring in so much love and so much compassion around this always. These are unhealthy patterns and they're growth opportunities. If you have been here before, you know that you can't change your partner and all you can do is work on you. And what you also need to know is these dismissive patterns from your husband, when they continue, it results in you hiding your feelings because that hurts less than being dismissed. And the emotional distance grows bigger and bigger with each hurt that gets swept under the rug. You lose sleep overthinking every interaction. You start to doubt yourself. Your voice gets smaller and smaller until you barely recognize yourself. And now you don't feel proud of how you show up in your relationship or in your life. The relationship becomes an empty shell of what it could be. And here's what most women don't realize. Underneath every dismissive response is actually a beautiful, valid need trying to be met. Even that painful, "you're too sensitive" comment. There's something happening beneath the surface, and when you understand what it is, it changes everything. This is exactly what I help women discover with my love journey process. Even when I am just working with her and not her husband, she starts to see what's really going on underneath these moments, the needs that are driving these reactions, and most importantly, of course, how to shift the patterns while staying true to herself. This does not, just because there's beautiful, valid needs underneath these reactions, I'm always saying this doesn't excuse his behavior or make it okay. It just helps you get out of the surface level stuff so you can actually start to feel heard, validated, and connected again and change those patterns. So if you are a woman who is tired of burying her feelings because it is just too hard to bring things up, it doesn't feel good, or if you're exhausted from overthinking things so much and you're losing sleep, I have got you, and I've been there. You can email me at lindsay@lovingwithintentioncoach.com to see if you're someone that I can help and if the love journey is your perfect next step towards the relationship that you would love. It would be my greatest freaking joy in the whole entire world to support you. My email is in the description box. Your intentional action for the week is to give yourself a whole lot of love, whether you hear these things from your husband or you've said them to him. So much love. You are here to grow. And again, if you hear these things, they are dismissive. You are not crazy. It can be so helpful to just pop a hand on your heart and take 3 deep breaths and say to yourself, my feelings are valid. My feelings matter. I am loved. You deserve that love. The video on the screen is where I talk about 5 reasons your husband gets reactive when you share feelings. The beautiful, valid needs are only one of those reasons. This will be so helpful in your growth journey. There are, of course, so many reasons. I can't list them all. And I always want to give this reminder that my content never applies to abusive or unsafe relationships. So take those deep breaths. Give yourself so much love today. You deserve to feel loved and heard and all the good things. Thank you so much for being here. I am sending so much love into your day. Remember, nothing changes if nothing changes. So let's have a super intentional week.